Right, pardon me. Just going to talk about this another new silencer that I bought. Now, you might have seen the review I did on this one. This is a Twink C or Twink Carbon, and I got this from the British Shooting Show from the A&M custom Gunsmiths stand. Really nice stand we had there. And I wanted a new silencer to go basically on my Priest, because it's not loud, but I know it's got the potential to be really quiet. So I wanted a really, really good silencer to go on the Priest, and I also wanted something that looked the part on the Priest as well. Now I've got a Hugget, but the Hugget is a slightly bigger bore. It's been bored out at some stage. I think it's for a 3.0 cal. So in the smaller calibers, obviously it doesn't work so well because you get a lot of the gases and compressed air coming out behind the pellet because it's got such a big bore to it. So I got this, and I've got to say it's the best silencer I have ever had. It is superb. You cannot beat it. Now I know, people do all these decibel trials and all that malarkey, and that's fine. It's great, but to me, I don't know what a decibel sounds like. I couldn't tell the difference between 8 decibels and 9 decibels, or what that actually means in the real world if you told me. So I go off, you stick it on the gun, you take it out, you shoot it in the fields. Is it quiet? Is it not quiet? With this on, the Priest is so quiet, it's unreal. So what I decided is, because I've got a multi-caliber choice now on the Priest, I've got 2 barrels for this. I've got a 177 and I've got a 2.5, pardon me. Now what I like to do is, because when you put a silencer on your air rifle, it generally does have some effect on the POI, the 0 scope. So I tend to leave the same silencer on the same rifle, because that way it doesn't affect, you don't get a POI shift whenever you're swapping your silencers around. So what I've decided to do is this, because I know that when I put that 177 barrel in, I've got multiple settings on my IOR scope. One of them is set up for the 0.25, 10, and I've got another 0 set up for the 177. So when I put this on and put the 177 barrel back in, I can switch it back to the 177 settings and a quick twiddle and it's there. And likewise, when I put the 2.5 barrel on, I'm now using my Hugget because it's got a slightly bigger bore for the 2.5 caliber. Now I was told by the guys at A&M Gunsmiths that these can be used with 0.25 cal, but it's a really close fit. And I have no doubt they can be used with 0.25 cal, but I don't want to, it's so good this, I don't want to damage it. I really don't. And even though they said that they, if you shoot a tooth drive through it and it does ruin it, they'll replace the parts. It's just not worth it. I just want to keep this because it's just so good. So that's for me 177 caliber Priest. That's for me 0.25 caliber Priest. But I had a bit of a problem with my Steyr. Now the Steyr is a very noisy gun. It's not got a shrouded barrel, and it gives a real crack. I mean a proper crack. Now I did buy a Donny FL for it, and I was not, I have to say, particularly impressed with the Donny FL on it. It wasn't very good. Personal opinion, but I didn't think it was very good. It worked, it cut the noise down, but it wasn't very good. So I thought, right, what do you do? So I thought, right, I know that the Twink C that I bought from A&M Gunsmiths, custom Gunsmiths, is fantastic. I know that that's a brilliant silencer, but I want to keep that on my 177 Priest because A, it looks great on it, and I've set my scope up using with this silencer fitted. So I wanted to keep that on that gun. So I thought, right, what I'll do, if you find something that's good, stick with it. So I went back to A&M, custom Gunsmiths, phoned them up, and I've got this. This is it's a beast of a thing. this is the real biggie. It's lovely. I think it's called the Neelix. And they do a carbon fibre version, which is exactly the same. But obviously the tube's made out of carbon fibre. But it's the same dimensions. And this is a monster of a thing. It's really long, really wide. And you think it's going to weigh a ton. It doesn't. It's actually quite light. It's really lightweight aluminium alloy. Really, really nice. Obviously the carbon fibre one's going to weigh a lot less. But that is really, really nice. Now I stuck it on my Steyr the other night. I had a few test shots and it's just, well, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's better than the Twink. I mean, I suppose it's going to be really because it's bigger. And it's the volume of air a lot of the times, providing the internals are the same quality and all the rest of it. The volume of air also plays its part. So I'm assuming that these both use the same sort of baffling system. So because it's a bigger volume, you see it's a third as big, it's going to be quieter. But this is amazing. I put that on my Steyr the other night, and honestly, that Steyr has got a hell of a crack to it. Anyone that's got one will tell you. You know, unshrouded, and they just give such a crack off. With that on, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, it's big and it's long, but my God, it's quiet. So what I'm going to do now, I think, is I'm in a bit of a quandary. I'm going to stick that on, keep that one for the 177 Priest barrel. Use that bored out Hugget for the 2.5 caliber. And then this one is going on the Steyr for now. But what I'm thinking of getting the 2.2 barrels. I'm so impressed with this Priest. I'm thinking of getting a 2.2 caliber barrel for the Priest. And when I get that, there's a strong likelihood that this bad boy will be getting an outing and will probably become my 2.2 caliber silencer on the Priest. And I'll break my own rules. I'll just swap it between the Priest and the Steyr, because this is incredible. I love this silencer. It's the best silencer I've ever had. It looks lovely. It works amazingly. It's really, really, really good. And this thing is even better. I mean, yes, it's got some slight disadvantages in the fact that it's a lot bigger. And this is the aluminium one, so it's a little bit heavier, but it's not heavy. Don't be fooled by looking at that thinking that's heavy. I had a Sachs silencer that I reviewed, that I used for a while I had that on my Daystay. And that was probably the same length as the Twink, if not a bit shorter, and weighed probably twice what this weighs. And I know the Sachs was rated for firearms, proper powder burners, but nonetheless. So just because that looks quite big, it doesn't mean that it's very heavy, because it isn't. But bloody hell, it's good. I've not had any other products off A&M Custom Gunsmiths, but I'll tell you what, if their silencers are anything to go by, then you're not going to go far wrong with anything else you buy off them, I don't think. I'm so impressed with them. This is awesome. And this is even better. It's a shame that my Uragan has got a... the Uragan came with its own silencer, an AGT silencer. And again, it's got quite a big bore size, so it's not an especially super efficient silencer. The Uragan's very quiet, even with that fitted, but you can't take it off and replace it with a different silencer, because it's got a strange sort of AGT specific thread. It's not got the standard 1/2-inch UNF thread. Otherwise, I'd love to put that on the Uragan, because like I say, the Uragan's very quiet, even with the really big bore silencer that's on it now. Can you imagine what it'd be like with something like that on it? Nothing would hear, it'd be incredible. So there you go. Another A&M Custom Gunsmith silencer. and another beautifully engineered, really nicely finished, and more important than any of that, supremely efficient silencer. That just, honestly, they've got this silencer Malarkey nailed. Yes, it's not as fancy as a Huggett. It's not got fancy little holes drilled everywhere. It's not got weird swoopy ends or vents all over it and bits of mesh, and it's not got the grooves and vents and God knows what the Donny FL things have got. So, it doesn't look especially super duper fancy. But my God, it knocks the spots off them when it comes to actually doing what you're supposed to do, i.e. make your rifle very, very quiet. So if you're a person that's more concerned with functionality rather than being trendy or one of the herd, milling about like everyone else, oh my God, I've got to get a Huggett of steel because everyone's got a Huggett of steel, blah-de-blah, then maybe it's not the silencer for you. But if you're someone that's hunting and wants an air rifle that is supremely quiet and wants a silencer that's beautifully engineered and is going to last you for a long time, then I thoroughly recommend that you get yourself to that A&M Custom Gunsmiths website and get yourself one of these. You will not be disappointed. Seriously. I mean, this one even looks a bit bling. And like I say, they do make one of these with a carbon fibre body. It's a bit more expensive. But it shares exactly the same internals. These things are awesome. Really, really good. So there you go. A&M Custom Gunsmiths silencers. And a new one. And I will, if I get my 2.2 barrel for this Priest, that big boy there will be stuck on the end of it. And failing that, it's going to go and live on my Steyr Hunting 5. And now I'll finish my cup of coffee off. Oh, do you like my mug, by the way? It's smart, isn't it? I don't know. The things you buy off eBay, but I think it's rather smart, huh? Anyway, yeah, so there you go. So A&M Custom Gunsmiths. If you want a good silencer, get on that website, give them a call, because you will not be unhappy. That's the Twink C. They make a Twink, which is the same length, exactly the same silencer as this, but with this aluminium body finish. And then that's the big one, that's the Neelix, I think it's called the Neelix, or is that the carbon fibre one? Anyway, they do this one as well with a carbon fibre body, as well as the aluminium body. Obviously the carbon fibre ones are slightly dearer than the aluminium alloy ones, and a lot of people, don't like this carbon fibre finish. They think it's a bit flashy, but I think it suits these sort of tactical looking air guns like the Priest. But this bad boy it's tamed that Steyr like there is no tomorrow. It really has. Marvellous bit of kit. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.